I was just going to do a quick little chat about myself, Amron, and my role here that I do, and what I perceive a general manager of a business. Could be any business. It could be a startup. It could be a 1 to 2 man band, 10 man, up to a medium size, and a large company. So I just thought I would give a real overview of what I think a general manager should be doing, what the roles are, and it's what I perceive. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right. It'd be great to get feedback on what people actually think. So typically on a day-to-day basis, I lead the development of the business strategies in the UK and the European markets by adapting and enhancing the company's global and regional strategy to local market conditions. So what does that mean? Basically, I'm the guy at the top that does all the strategies for the business, decides what route we go down, where we're going to go, what we're going to follow, who we're going to buy from. The strategy for the business needs to be clear and concise. People need to buy into it. If it's long-winded, it's confusing, then no one's really going to come on board because they're not going to understand it. So you want a nice, clear, concise strategy to take your company forward. We typically operate in the UK and the European market. So that's primarily what we focus on at the moment. We're trying to become the best in the UK. We do sell into Europe, but the UK is our primary focus at the moment. So when I have to adapt a plan, it might be for a specific country. So the strategy for selling into France, we know, is completely different from the UK. The French architects work in a slightly different way to what the UK architects do. It is still based a lot around specifications of products, but just the way they operate, it is different. So we just have to adapt the strategy. So looking forward, if we do need a salesperson to go into France, start selling, then do we employ someone here and send them over there 2 to 3 days a week, or do we actually physically employ someone over there? But then these sort of things need to be budgeted for. So we need to allow for that in the budget for next year, if I perceive that there is a real market there at the moment. But like I said, we're trying to become the best in the UK at the moment, what we do. So I just touched on it quickly, but another role of mine is developing the annual commercial and budget plan. It's also another thing that I have to implement it and actually get there. My head's on the line. If I don't hit budget for the year, my directors are going to ask questions. Why haven't you? Are you running at a loss because you haven't hit budget? It's one of those things. It's a real thing to worry about if you don't hit budget. So making sure we have the right procedures in place, the right processes in place is crucial. It could be down to having the right staff members, having the right software, having the right capabilities, and it comes back to having the right strategy to fulfill that budget. Another one that I look after is recruit, train, develop, supervise and motivate staff to ensure that we have a professional, experienced, skilled and motivated team capable of meeting our company's goals. At the end of the day, if the team aren't motivated, they haven't bought into the plan and the strategy, you're not going to really progress anywhere. So you need to make sure the team is singing from the same hymn sheet. Everyone's happy. We're a fully functioning, efficient and effective unit. We all move in one, we all work in the same ways. We all know each other's weaknesses and each other's flaws. So we can work together as a team to fulfill the requirements. And it's my job to not stand there and crack the whip constantly. It's there to lead the team, bring them forward, work with them, show them the best ways in which we can do things, how we can get the best sales, how we can get the best out of an opportunity. So we don't like to miss any opportunities. If we're potentially going to lose a project, how can we save it? How can we do something different? So it's just building up confidence within the team that they know that there is a solution out there to a certain project. Another one would be organise and monitor marketing activities to create market awareness of the company, its offerings, and generate the demand for the company's products, achieving maximum return on the investments in marketing. This comes back to ROI, return on investment. What are you putting in? What are you going to get out? You could put 10,000, 15, 20,000 pounds into a marketing budget, but are you going to get that back? Do you think you're going to see it back? Return on investment is always a hard thing, what with digital marketing these days. You could be piling thousands into it, but not actually seeing an immediate return. So what I have to do is look at the best options in which we can spend the marketing budget. So is it website developments? Is the website failing somewhere? Do we need to look at social media? Do we need to do some more social media campaigns, social media marketing? It's just different aspects of doing it, creating the marketing report. That's the crucial thing. You need the initial marketing report, marketing activity, marketing plan, so you know what markets you're going to be selling into, how you're going to get there, what you're going to be doing. Again, that then all comes back in line with the budget. Setting the budget, you know you're going to spend 10,000 a year on marketing. How can you spend that 10,000? What's the best way you can get the return on investment on the 10,000? So looking at different options in that aspect. Another thing I am in charge of is maintaining key sale partnerships, customers, and deepening those relationships. So this comes back to ensuring that every customer we serve correctly. We do the right thing. We pride ourselves on doing the right thing at all times. If there's an issue, get there, resolve it, sort it. Don't point the finger. We need to sort the issue out. It needs to be done and dusted. Then we can do a full investigation and report into what actually happened, what went wrong. If there's a mistake, learn from it. Like I've said in previous videos, is mistakes will always happen. It's human error. The best thing to do is just learn from them. So there's no finger pointing, no need to get angry or anything, but it's maintaining all customers are happy, seeing how we can better service them. We're here to make money. They're there to make money. How can we help each other to make money? That's the key thing. So another thing that I'm heavily involved in is actually guiding and managing the sales team. So I create and distribute sales practices and policies to achieve maximum performance from the team, establishing sales accounts, management systems, sales forecasting and reporting systems to track profitability of sales opportunities to meet our goals. Ensure the development of efficient customer relationship management. So that's basically a CRM system. We've literally just implemented a CRM system after about 3-4 years of not having one, and my God, is it making a difference already. Everything that was slipping through the crack is no longer slipping through the crack. We're able to track people, track quotes, know what we're doing, know who we're hitting. 2 or 3 people come on to us from the same job, quick search of the project name, and we know we've already quoted some tenders. Some of their competitors, we know who the architect is. So it's just it's a really good tool that we're finding we can actually track and manage projects a lot more efficiently and effectively than doing it. So it was my task was to implement that, and that also helps with policies and procedures going forward. We're now far more efficient. We're not actually wasting time. We're actually saving time. So guiding and managing the sales team as well. It's a small team of us. They all have their targets. We all know what we need to do in order to reach the targets. If we're looking like we're not going to hit the targets, then it's my job to identify that early on within the month, see what the salesperson is actually forecasting, what they think they're going to be bringing in, and then making sure that they can feel confident going out and getting it. Do they need extra support from me? Do I need to go there with them? Do they need another member of staff going there with them? Do they need some more literature, some more products? They need samples. So it's just understanding what the sales team actually need in order to meet their targets, which at the end of the day means the company meets targets. I design the responsibilities reporting lines and performance criteria for the employees. I plan and organise and monitor the work of the team, set the objectives and evaluate the performance of the team members. So again, this comes back to working with the team, trying to keep them motivated, seeing what they're doing, how they're doing, understanding their needs. If they need further training, let's get the training. Do they need product training? Is it sales training? Knowledge they're missing? How can I get that knowledge from the wider audience that we're serving into them so that they're happy, that they can actually go out there and do their job? Coming back to the reporting lines, we all know what we need to do. There are values that everyone needs to hit. There are targets everyone needs to hit. So as long as we're all doing that, we're a happy business. We're making money. That's what everyone's there for. So organising and monitoring the work of the team, again, it's just sitting there looking over what everyone's doing. The new CRM system, we're able to actually access into people's calendars, so I can see who's where, who's doing what, and everything in that aspect. If there is an issue, we sort it out straight away. We don't need any negativity. We don't like negativity in the office. So we try to address issues as soon as possible. Another one is establishing and maintaining effective communication and suppliers around the world, ensuring that cross-functional business processes are organised and performed efficiently and effectively. As we are a reseller, we don't manufacture anything, so therefore we rely solely on our suppliers. If we don't have suppliers, we don't have product, no business. So maintaining those relationships with the suppliers is key. We need to keep them happy. We need to do as much as we can to promote their products in the country and sell them. If we're not selling their products, then we need to address what's the issue we're not selling it. Recently, there was a product line which we weren't selling too much of, and the owner of the business actually contacted me and was worried because he said, "John, you've not sold a lot recently. Last year was great, this year is not too much." And the main reason come down to was because we were in the construction industry. There was a real dip in what we were doing, and a lot of their product was actually being sold externally, and it's not normally ordered until the very end. And we sat down, we had the meeting, the discussion, and basically we explained this is it. He could see the forecast. He knew that towards the end of the year it really was going to pick up and get a lot better, which it has done. But we had to identify the issue and solve it straight away. So we had the sales forecast. We were able to show him what we've quoted. He knew what we've quoted, but at the end of the day, he wanted more business a lot quicker. We couldn't do that, so we just had to wait until that certain business coming, because it was a very specific product. It has to be designed into a project. It can't just be added at the last minute. So a lot of the projects have long gestation periods. So he fully understood. He liked it when he could see the figures, he could see everything. And he was confident when the orders started coming in, and now the relationship is back to where it always has been, and next year is looking healthy as well. So maintaining relationships with suppliers is crucial. Another supplier we've got sole UK rights to. Making sure that we're doing the most that we can to get their product noticed. So promoting it on the website, going out, seeing people, taking the samples, leaving it everywhere, just spreading the word of the product. Because at the end of the day, it makes them money and it makes us money. Happy suppliers means the business is going well, means you're selling a lot, and they will continue the great relationship going forward. And there's no reason to not on that front. Another one would be organise and oversee customer services in order to achieve high level of customer satisfaction and retention. That goes back to an earlier point that I mentioned. One of our big issues would be customer retention. A lot of the work we do is specification driven, so it depends who wins the contract to do the building, do the fit out, do the metal work. So sometimes we don't always work with the same person twice. However, that is a real issue that we are now resolving, in the fact that we'll only work with them once. Why aren't we working with them again? Is it because they don't want the product, or they don't know the product? They don't know what else we can offer. They only think we do that type. So now we're out there actively hitting the people that we have already quoted, that we have already sold to. So make them aware of what we've got, what we sell. So when more opportunities come in, that we're able to service them better, we're able to make them more money by assisting them in the process. And it's just creating product awareness, because a lot of people who we do service don't understand what we do, don't know what we do. So that comes down to a failure on our half, that we're not actually educating the market and educating the customers, or our message isn't coming across clear enough. So that's something that we are actively addressing at the moment, getting out there, showing people who we are, what we do, and how we can work with them. And it's just making sure that we're always giving the high level of customer service. So people ring up, we can get instant results to them. One thing we do hear a lot is some of our competitors take slightly longer to reply, whereas we're a small team and we can get the answers quicker. We can then get more technical advice quicker to them. So we find as a supplier business that if we can get the answers back within typical 24 hours, we stand a good chance of getting the work and building on the good relationship going forward. And I'd say the last point the last role that I foresee is I maintain and refine internal business processes and procedures in collaboration with the non-exec directors to maintain operating excellence and economical efficiency. So Are we doing the best we physically can? Is there anywhere where we can save money? Are we wasting money in a certain aspect? The non-exec directors are there to assist. They're not there to tell me what to do. They can only advise. So they sit on the board and question me, constantly question, which is great because then it makes me think about it. I'm not making the rash decision on my own. I'm subconsciously thinking, what questions are they going to be asking? And then when I go into the meeting, I've sort of preempted some of them, but then there's some others which then make me think, is this actually the right thing for the business? Are we going in the right direction? So constantly being asked, why am I doing something? Is it right for the business? That is a huge thing that I undertake and do, is always having the answers, getting the knowledge for the answers. So that was just a list of some of the things that I see a general manager is responsible for in a business. It's not necessarily right, as I said, but this is what I do on a day-to-day basis. But it all boils down to, as long as you sell product, your customers are happy, they return, you're making money, the business is great, and you have to be able to assess the risk in developing the business going forward, analysing what risks are always happening that could potentially ruin it. SWOT analysis, pestle analysis. So understanding how and where your company could instantly collapse and having the plans in place that if that does happen, you know that you are comfortable and you can survive for a certain period until the business picks back up again. So yeah, that's just some of the things that I undertake on a daily basis. So yeah, that's what I do. Cheers.